Hello and welcome to our new session. This time, modern periodic law and modern periodic table in great detail. So, without wasting any moment, let's straightway get into the topic. Today, we will learn how atomic number plays the fundamental property while setting up modern periodic table and how the elements are arranged there in modern periodic table and the various trends or properties which the element follows in modern periodic table. In the year 1913, Henry Moseley proposed that he told that the atomic number should be a fundamental property while setting up of modern periodic table. Now, what does it mean? It means very clearly that the elements should be arranged in increasing order of their atomic number. Earlier, if we recall, in Mendeleev's periodic table, the elements were arranged in the order of increasing atomic masses, and that causes few hindrances, few limitations out there. Like hydrogen was not placed properly, isotopes could not be given a place in Mendeleev, and these were some of the heavier elements were placed before some of the lighter elements. These were the major drawback of Mendeleev. All these drawbacks has been taken absolute care here in modern periodic table. But let me tell you, in modern periodic table, we have first of all 7 periods, very much like in your Mendeleev periodic table, and 18 groups. Remember, 18 groups. Let's recall here, this is in modern periodic table. But in Mendeleev, earlier, there were 7 periods. The periods are still same in the case of modern periodic table, but 8 groups earlier. It has been now increased to 18 in modern periodic table. Now, classification is more contemporary, more elaborate, more perfect in modern periodic table. Let's recall what are periods, what are groups in very fast. Periods are horizontal rows where the elements are arranged in increasing order of atomic number, whereas groups are vertical column where the elements having the similar or identical similar electronic configuration in terms of valence number, valency, same valency, they fall in the same group exhibiting identical or similar chemical properties. Now, for example, let's straightway get into group 1 element of modern periodic law. It starts with hydrogen. Hydrogen finds a separate place at the top of group 1. Hydrogen followed by lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Now hydrogen is atomic number 1, lithium 3, sodium 11, potassium 19, rubidium 37. It goes on and on. Now, interesting thing here in group 1 that all of them are similar in terms of chemical properties because each of them has same number of valence electron. Valence electrons are those electrons which are present in the last shell of an element. Let's take two examples to elaborate these facts: sodium and potassium. Here sodium, the electronic configuration of sodium is 2 in the first shell, 2 electron will go, in the second shell 8, and in the third it's 1. So it has a valency of 1. I hope you are in a position to identify metal and non-metal straightway from their atomic number. Whenever you know the atomic number, then the first thing it should strike your mind to go for the electronic configuration. That really helps you to find the number of valence electron. If the number of valence electron, listen to me carefully, if the number of valence electron is less than 4 and more than 0, number of valence electron, the electrons present in the last shell are more than 0 and less than 4, that is 1, it can be either 1, it can be 2 or 3, not more than that. If there are 3 electrons in the valence shell or 1, 2 or 3, any one of these are there in the valence shell, then it is definitely going to be a metal. How? Let me tell you. Now sodium here, the in M shell, it has 1 electron, that is the valency. The number of valence electron and the valency for metals are same. But for a non-metal, the number of, how can you identify non-metals very fast? Yes, if on arranging the if on completing the electronic configuration, there are more than four valence electron in the valence shell, in that case, that's an indication that's definitely going to be a non-metal. With example, I will elaborate here. For example, carbon. Carbon has atomic number 6, 2 and 4. It's definitely more than 4. It's 4 or more than 4. So therefore, carbon is a non-metal. Carbon is definitely a non-metal. You can go for chlorine. Say chlorine. The atomic number of chlorine is 17, 2, 8 and 7. This 7 is definitely more than 4. 7 is definitely more than 4. So this is an indication that chlorine is a non-metal. So without wasting time, you will be in a better position. If the number of valence electron is less than 4, that's a metal. If it's more than 4, it's more number of valence electron, in that case, that's. Now here for chlorine, in the lower classes, you know, to find the valency. Remember, for metal, the number of valence electron and the valency are same. For example, in sodium, it's 1 is the number of valence electron, so that is the same as valency. Number of valence electron and valency are same. Same is the case with potassium. If you go for electronic configuration, in the first shell 2, in the second shell 8, 10 of 19 has been preoccupied here. Now many people here commit a mistake while going through the board papers previous, while checking and evaluation. I found out that many times, many people, what they do, 2-8, they now due to rush of blood or confusion, I don't know what, they straightway write 9 here. 2-8 and simple arithmetic. Simple arithmetic doesn't play here. You will lose out crucial marks here. 2, 8 and 9. No, no way. It should not exceed more than 8 in the last shell. In the last shell, the electrons will be always, due to stability reason, 8 or less than 8. So at the maximum, 8 electrons will go in the M shell for potassium, and in N, 1. See here, for sodium it's 1, for potassium it's 1. Let's use another marker to show that color change. See here, all of them has a valency of 1. Hydrogen, obviously no rocket science required. It has only 1 electron, it will go to the K shell. Lithium, again, it has, in the first, it will go to K shell. There are 2 electron, and in the last shell 1. There is a pattern here, 1, 1, 1, 1. And even rubidium, you can go for that. So rubidium, if you arrange 2, 8, it will be 8, 18 and 10, 8, 18, 18, 36 and 1. The last shell, 1. See here, 1. So there is a pattern here. So In modern periodic table, it is an advantage if you know that the valency are same, they belong to the same group, even vice versa. And now there are one valence electron, so all of these definitely belong to group 1. Now beryllium, for example, and magnesium followed by calcium, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium. Beryllium atomic number is 4, magnesium is 12, calcium is 20. You should be well versed in the first 30 or 40 elements always. They should be in your fingertips most of the time. It's a great advantage in chemistry. Now for the KLMN, now 2 and 2. So here again 2. So 2 is the number of electron present in the valence shell. So 2 is the valency for beryllium, and 2 is definitely a metal. Magnesium, it is 2, 8 and again 2. Calcium 20. So 2, 8, 8, 2. There is a definite pattern you see. Each of them has 2 electrons in their valence shell, and 2 is the valency without doubt. All of them belong to group 2 because of this, 2. So they definitely, closing your eyes, you can conclude that all of them belong to group 2. Group 2 of modern periodic table. Now, what is modern periodic law? Modern periodic law states that the properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic number. I repeat, modern periodic law states that the properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic number. In simple terms, the elements are arranged in increasing order of atomic number and not atomic mass. Mass was the fundamental property for classification earlier in Mendeleev and before that in Newlands too. But to overcome all the drawbacks, so atomic number has been taken care of. How this is an advantage, let me tell you. Now, advantages of modern periodic table. Hydrogen has been assigned a proper place, here. It has been placed. If you see the periodic table, now please open a periodic table, modern periodic table rather, you find hydrogen finds a separate place just above in group 1. Group 1 is the extreme left, the first group in modern periodic table, that's group 1. Group 1, hydrogen followed by lithium, then sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Now hydrogen has been now placed. Earlier, if you remember, in Mendeleev, hydrogen was not assigned a definite place there. So this has been taken care of, has been assigned a proper place in modern periodic table. Isotopes here in modern periodic table has been taken care of, the position of theirs. The isotopes are now placed along with the respective element. For example, hydrogen has 3 isotopes, protium, deuterium and tritium. All these 3 isotopes are now placed along with the same element. Oxygen, similarly, carbon has C12, C13, C14 isotopes. These isotopes are also placed along with the same element. So this is position of isotopes are fixed now. They are placed along with the element. This is first, this is second, and now the third one, like earlier, if you remember, cobalt was placed before nickel. Although cobalt was heavier than nickel, but it doesn't matter now, as we know that cobalt has lower atomic number and classifying according to atomic masses are now ridiculous at all. So that we don't take into consideration. That's the advantages of there, like that discrepancy or of arranging the elements in terms of masses has been taken care of. So all the shortcomings of Mendeleev periodic table has been taken care in modern periodic table. This is all in part 1. In part 2, we'll go for the trends of the elements, the properties in great detail. Till then, bye bye, take care and study seriously and meticulously. Bye bye and see you.